Last night I hopped onto the individual's Discord. Hadn't been on there in a few days, and I saw on one of the channels there was like 200 and something comment messages, and there's a whole thread, just pages and pages. And so I decided to kind of go in there and see what was going on. Obviously, I couldn't read everything, but there was a young man in there that kind of stirred up this whole conversation. It was kind of sad at first when I was reading some of his comments. I felt his pain. I felt, he was so bitter. He was so angry with where he was at in life and what he looked like and the whole 9 yards. Where most of us start off at in this whole personal self-development journey. But this dude was in a real dark place. He was spiraling down. We had so many dudes who were replying back to him and trying to encourage him, trying to speak some sense into him. And all he kept replying was, "Oh no, you guys are just lying," right? He kept on saying things like lies. Nah, I'm just a piece of shit. Nah, man, I'm ugly. I got no social skills, no girls, no friends. He was blaming stuff on his parents, saying it's all my parents' fault. They didn't teach me about mewing, and my mom, she gave me this bad genetic jawline, said something like that. He said I'm only 5'9", no girls are gonna want me because I'm not 6'2". And he posted this picture of himself, actually, and my initial thought, right before I really looked at it, was like, oh, this poor guy, man, he's probably he's probably got the short end of the stick and whatever. But when I really looked at the picture, I was like, wait, what? I was like, bro, you're good looking. Like, what are you talking about, my guy? And I noticed that all the other dudes in the Discord too were saying the same thing. Like, bro, like, what are you not seeing here when you look in the mirror? Like, you're actually a good looking guy. And so I was just kind of tripping, and this guy's this young man's, just the way he saw himself, his self-image was just so shattered. And anything any of our dudes were trying to say to him, he didn't believe it. And he was making up all these reasons why he couldn't improve himself, making up all these excuses of why he couldn't go to the gym. So a lot of the guys in the Discord, you can see, we're getting a little angry. Just like, bro, come on. Like, stop thinking so low on yourself. Stop thinking so negatively. Because it's like, look, bro, if you're looking for an excuse, you're going to find one every single time. And, it's easy to fall into this bottomless pit. It's easy to spiral down. And especially, like, in this day and age that we live in, with social media, with TV, and just everything around us, it's easy to compare ourselves to the next guy. It's like, bro, you could have been through a car crash and had your legs severed. You could have been a burn survivor. You could have been dropped on your head as a child and forever handicapped. You could have been one of those kids in Zimbabwe where they have to travel like 6 miles there and back just to get their family some water that's not even that's toxic, that's actually destroying their bodies and making them more sick and causing diseases. And so you got to be careful comparing yourself to the dudes on social media, the dudes on TV, and just the people that got what you want. It'll absolutely destroy you. It'll make you ineffective. This is another reason why prawn has such negative effects, because you look at these men in these videos and you can't amount to that, right? Most of us can't. And you got to think to yourself, man, because it's so easy for all of us to get to this state. I know I've been in this state many times in my own life. Even these days, I look at some of the dudes around me and I'm like, man, I wish I could be on their level of success, right? And then you get there, and then you're looking at the next guy. Oh man, I wish I had a house like his. I wish I had, you know, as much influence as he has, whatever the case. And so, with all these things, in the world that are constantly smothered in our faces, it's easy to compare ourselves, and you got to really check yourself. And you got to ask yourself, what am I inputting in my head every single day? What am I listening to? What am I viewing? What am I comparing myself to? Those are some very important questions you got to ask yourself. And sometimes the enemy isn't even out there. Sometimes the enemy is right here. It's yourself telling yourself these negative things. And you got to look in the mirror, bro, and tell yourself just to stop. I've had to do that many times in my own life. Dre, just stop, bro. Just quiet. No more negative self-talk. Come on, man. Done. You gotta realize, you guys, money, friends, possessions, all these topical, materialistic, real, tangible things out here in life, all these things that they come and they go, right? But this thing right here, this thing stays with you. Your soul, you're forever bound to it. It's with you forever. So you got to take care of it. You got to protect it at all costs. There's a message by Stephen Furtick I heard a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how if someone came knocking on your door, some random stranger, and you opened up the door and you looked down and you saw he had on just the dirtiest, most muddy shoes, would you allow him just to come inside your house and just start walking through your kitchen, walking through the hallways? Would you allow him to just start jumping all over your sofa, on top of your bed with these big old muddy shoes on? Of course not. So why do we let all these dirty, icky thoughts just stomp all over our headspace, stomp all over our mind, and it don't make no sense? Self-talk, man. Self-image is very, very, it's crucial. So for any of you out there who are going through a similar situation, I just encourage you, make it a goal for the next month to not even utter a negative word about yourself. Anytime you get a negative thought, I want you to counterattack it and say, wait, nah, that's not true. That's not true. I'm not weak, I'm strong. I ain't ugly. Look at me. I'm a handsome young man, right? I'm not a piece of Nah, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. That's what God says. Instead of focusing on all the reasons why you can't, start focusing on all the reasons why you can. That's what we need to do as men. Men shouldn't ever be thinking these thoughts like, oh man, because my chin doesn't come out a half a centimeter, girls aren't gonna like me. Because I'm only 5'11" and not 6 foot, there's no way I'm gonna ever have a beautiful wife. What are you saying, bro? What are you talking about? Be careful, you guys. This is narcissism at its finest. There's two types of narcissism, right? And I had a friend growing up that he experienced both. Growing up, he was very, very good looking, and he used to think that all the girls were always looking at him and watching him because of his looks, right? And then when he got a little older, he started putting on some weight. He's still not a bad looking guy, but he's not as good looking as he used to be, and so now he's very insecure. And now he walks around and he thinks everybody's looking at him because he's a little bit overweight, He's not like as good looking as he used to be, and oh man, this and that. So there's that narcissism that thinks, I'm the man, right? Check out all these people looking at me. And then you got the narcissism that's like, oh man, everybody's looking at me because, oh man, my jawline isn't sharp enough, and oh my gosh, mine used to be like, oh, my legs are so skinny, like all these girls are looking at my legs, dude. Like, come on, bro. The second you start thinking thoughts like this, bro, like you've just lost all your balls. And honestly, that's why usually you always see me shave my head in every once in a great while, because I've been looking in the mirror too much. I've been a little focused too much on looks. So I think to myself, nah, gotta cut this crap out. So we get rid of it and we start focusing on the things that actually matter. And I get so many comments of people saying, oh, Dre, it's so easy for you to say, you got the, you're just lucky, you got the genetics, you got the girl, you got the success. But it's just funny how nobody was saying how lucky I was when I was 110 pounds, same height I am now. And everywhere I went, women included, would just look at me like I'm some sort of freak and comment about just how skinny I am, how someone needs to feed me, give me a hamburger to eat. Nobody talks about how lucky I was when I was freaking going to the gym twice a day for years trying to put on weight, and all these diets that I was on, and hiring these personal trainers just to help me. Nobody was talking about how lucky I was then. My story with my wife and how I got her, most of you don't even know. I haven't even shared that story yet here on the internet, but I went through hell and back to get my wife, bro. Those people who were with me during that process, they know. They saw what I had to go through. And I'm not even talking about the years of self-development and self-improvement that I had to go through to even be a man worthy of a type of woman like that. I'm not even talking about that. Nobody was talking about how, lucky I was when I was failing at all these startup businesses and all these dreams and goals I was going after for years and years and years and years, and every time I would just fall flat on my face. Nobody was talking about how lucky I was then, right? So I just want to encourage you guys, just stop. Stop all the negative self-talk. Your life literally depends on this. And protect this thing right here at all costs. My brothers, protect this thing. Protect this thing. Appreciate you guys.